Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wake Up and Make Up with Grace Givens. Oh boy, I hope I'm not in a bad place today. I changed my angle a little. I have to tell you that I'm working on making things a little bit better looking in my bathroom for you, and on my face, of course. Today I'm going to do my makeup, especially just my eyes so much, a little bit of cheeks, and talk to you about something I think is really important. First of all, and I probably will do this in part one and part two because YouTube doesn't like to put a great big long one on. So I will be separating things because I usually have things to say, as you well know. Okay, first thing I'm going to do this morning is my eyebrows. And you know I like this little Toly Moly stuff. I want to talk to you today about two things. One is that some people ask me why it is that I am so open. I had a lady say yesterday when she was listening to it when I was there, she said, "Oh, I heard you say the word penis." Well, okay, because that's what it's all about, okay? This is a disease of apertures. And it's a sexually transmitted disease like chlamydia, HIV, gonorrhea, syphilis, you name it, it's sexually transmitted. It is not as lethal as HIV. It is a little bit worse, I think, than chlamydia, although I am not an expert on chlamydia at all. And it definitely is something that you need to be paying attention to for yourself and your children. I had another question from a friend who said, "Are you trying to tell me that if I get my daughter vaccinated, while she's still an adolescent, she won't ever actually even be exposed to this disease?" Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And your son too. They cannot become carriers. They won't get this. They will not get this virus, and it will not haunt them later, which means that in a couple of generations, when you and I are gone, and they are the only ones left to grow old in this world, this will be as non-existent as smallpox is in our world today. So please do not hesitate. Get your kids vaccinated if they're between the ages of 10 and 12. Take them down to their pediatrician and say, "Please guard my child against HPV." Guard, that's the name of the vaccine. Gardasil. Do it. I was in the pediatrician's office the other day with my beautiful, wonderful granddaughter who's turning 1 year old this month. And the doctor was in with us, and somebody knocked at the door, and he opened it, and this nurse of his came in, and she said, "I'd hate to bother you, doctor, but Mrs. So-and-so has refused to have her child vaccinated against HPV." And he kind of shook his head and said, "Well, I figured as much." And she left. And I knew I should have kept my countenance because it's none of my business about other people. Well, sort of it is my business. I'm making it my business right now. So I said to him, "Doc, people are resisting the HPV virus even with the growth of this disease." And he said, "Oh, yes, Mrs. Givens, I hate to tell you, but almost everybody says no to it. And it's very, very frustrating because it is on the rise." And I said, "Doctor, I have HPV-related cancer right now. And I'm facing a really hard surgery. I've had it for 4 years. Mine happens to be persistent. And I'm going to have all of it out. And I'm on a rampage right now trying to teach people how to protect their children and how to protect themselves." And he said, "Oh, Mrs. Givens, you're doing a very kind thing." Well, I'm not doing a kind thing, and that brings me to what this is all about. And the fact is, no, it's not my favorite thing to sit on the air in front of potentially thousands of people and talk about the fact that I have a sexually transmitted disease and admit all that. It's not pretty, I know it. I'm very grateful that I have a husband who totally accepts and understands me, and a daughter and son-in-law who do too, and it's all their idea that there's nothing for me to be ashamed of. And they know that I wouldn't think there was much to be ashamed of, because you see, in my opinion, my humble opinion, every person in this world that is born, unless there's some dreadful problem that happens during pregnancy, all these people have 2 breasts, 2 nipples, a vagina, or a penis. In some very sad and rare cases, they may have both. That's a hermaphrodite. And they have an anus and a rectum, and all these places have places in between. And every single one of them is susceptible to getting this awful disease, okay? Most of the people I know that have it are in the entertainment world like myself, so I think God must have a plan. He wants us to talk. And that brings me to something else. I had the opportunity, rare and precious opportunity, the other day to have a visit with one of you. It was great. She found me. She realized we had a mutual connection, and so we met. We met at Starbucks and we talked. She was charming, and she even is connected with theater in a costuming capacity. She's very exuberant and animated like I am. So she can be a spokesperson too. She's not afraid of it. She has an unusual form of cancer that is related to this. It definitely probably has its roots in HPV, because she says she's known for a long time that she's a carrier. It's something I never knew I was at all susceptible. Can't get this brush up. Now I got it. Okay, I want you to know I've made 2 or 3. I know I'm a little bit late on this. I'm using orange. Yeah, actually I'm using a bright orange. It's from a sample I got from Lancome a long time ago, but it's a pretty good product. Excuse me while I use this mirror because I can see better on it. Anyway, it was really great to meet her, and she was very effervescent in her praise of my helping her get through this. I don't know why I'm having that effect, but apparently I am, and that's the whole point. If I can make one of you protect yourself more, go to the doctor and insist on being checked in every area, if I can help one of you get through it if you're already there and you need some help getting through the treatments, which are never easy and fun, I'm here. Ask me questions. Give me comments. Let me know what's on your mind. Let's have a discussion, even if it's just not on the air here, but just write to me and I'll write you back. I promise. And I will seek out the answers to your questions. But the bottom line is, I hate bodily functions. Okay, they embarrass me. You know, today there are hotels, fancy hotels, that pride themselves on having bathrooms with doors that don't really close. I hate that. That is just not the way that I want to go at all. However, I do not mind talking about bodies and body parts, sexual situations. They're real. They're all part of life. And I'm not embarrassed. Not one lick. I'm not embarrassed. I'm also older than most people that have this problem, so I have less to lose. I don't have to impress anybody. As I said, my family is supportive, and when you have a supportive family, honey, you got it made. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to put this is a concealer that I got from a dermatologist a few years ago, and I stick this little thing with my precious flat brush underneath. And then I'm going to powder on top of it just a little bit in an area that really isn't going to wrinkle your eyes, but it is going to protect me from my mascara smudging a lot and my eyeliner smudging a lot. So I don't like that, so we're going to do it like this. I'm going to use my regular powder today. Sometimes I use different ones, but I'll do this. Just put it right under there. See, that's not where you get lines. And blend, 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 one of my favorite 5-letter words. And we're going to talk in just a minute about 4-letter words. Okay, This is it for this segment, but go on, hold on, go to part 2, and we'll talk about fear, okay? Please subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your friends, comment, let YouTube know you like me. That means they'll like me, okay? I'm going to see you in just a second.